everybody, I'm Nettie Kay. Welcome to my actual studio. Now I know many of you meet me in the classroom at our beautiful Park Place, but today we're going to be in my studio and for quite a while. I know it's kind of a frustrating time, but it's kind of an interesting time, don't you think? Yeah, we can do all sorts of creative things and have to learn new ways of doing things. So make it a good thing, you know? Don't just sit around and watch TV. Make something, do something, learn something new. All right, that's what we're doing right now. Now, I know some of you have supplies, and some of you have crayons, and some of you have pencils and paper, and that's okay. This should work, a lot of it should work for pretty much anything, any medium that you have, which means pencils, papers, crayons, canvas, paints. And I do thank you for all of you who signed up for my class and got your little paint sets, okay? And the paint sets come in a really cute pink bag. Sorry boys, I had about 100 of these bags, so I put a butterfly on them. I know they're kind of girly, but hey, they carry some good paints, don't they? I like them. And so just remember, the pink is all about me, it's not about you. Okay, just saying, all right. And inside the bag were all these wonderful little cups of various different colors of paints and some brushes, and then also a couple of canvases for you. Now I'll have more of those coming up here in the next week or so. So if anybody else wants to order some for their kids, you're welcome to do that. Just contact me on Facebook, okay? Or make a remark below or whatever you can figure out to do. Okay, so all right, now today we're going to be doing a beautiful drawing and painting of a baby chick with some eggshells beside it. All right, so let's get going. Okay, well, now I've got my little board up here, and I've got a little circle on here. If you want to make the shape of an egg, it's sometimes a little bit hard to do because you just think, okay, well, you know, it might have some dents in it, it might be kind of weird, so I'm going to show you a way to make the shape of an egg without making too many mistakes. So let's get going on that. Now I've got actually one of the lids off of my little paint set. Hopefully it's dry and doesn't have icky paint on it, but I'm going to put that right here, right about here. Not right in the middle, you guys, because I need room for some stuff over here and rooms, so I don't want to ever put anything right dead center. I'm slightly off to the side a little bit. And now I'm going to, whoops, I'm going to get this set down just right, and I'm going to put a nice pencil mark all the way around by tracing it, and it just makes it easier to make a nice circle like that, okay? And so here is my circle. You can see I've got a little shadow where I made a mistake before, but that's okay. All right, now, now that's a big fluffy chicken belly. All right, now the chicken is actually the shape of an egg a little bit. So let's figure out what that looks like. So I'm going to take my pencil right now, and I'm going to come up over here at the top of that circle, and I'm going to make a nice curved line right at the top, and then one from the bottom. And you can see I've got a bit of an egg shape, don't I? Got a bit of an egg shape. That's basically the chicken's body. Isn't that neat? So here's the chicken's body. I'll make it a little bit darker. I don't want you making it dark. Make it nice and light because it's a chicken, for goodness sakes. And it's not a black chicken, it's a yellow chicken. So we're going to go like that, like that. And here's the shape of an egg here, okay? Now on top of that, I'm going to make a smaller ball right here. And so here's this little head. This one's about the size of a quarter, okay? This little head's about the size of a quarter. And it's kind of, you know, it's not up at the top, it's off to the side like this, so it's like shooting up towards the corner. And then I'll put in a little beak right here. And so I'm going to make a little round beak that comes down. The top beak is a little bit bigger than the bottom beak, so I'm going to come in like this. And then I'll put in a small little beak right there underneath. Okay, there's the beak. And then for his eye, I'm going to put, I don't want him looking too angry, everybody. I don't want him like this. I'm going to put a straight line across right about right here. And then I'll put in a little round mark under here, a little round circle. And then I'm going to fill that in, but not the whole thing. I'm going to leave a little white spot in it so it looks like there's a little sparkle. Isn't that cute? Yeah, that's kind of cute. All right, now, what's he missing? Well, he's missing a wing. So I think I'm going to put in a wing like this, and it's okay. We're going to cross that little circle line. We're going to paint over it anyway, so it's not a big deal. Or you can erase it if you have an eraser, if you're doing it on paper. Okay, so now down under here, around, down, 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 and then right about here. Okay, so it's about halfway through our circle. So you take your circle and you cut it in half, and that's right about where the front leg goes. And he's got a little chubby leg, okay? It's not, this is the top part of the leg, you know, a little chicken drumstick, okay? So I'm gonna put this, and then I'm gonna give it a little triangle, like that. So this part's almost straight down a little bit. Actually, no, it isn't. I'm gonna take it, we're gonna take it two angles, and then I'm gonna make this little leg like this. So it is kind of a little triangle with a rounded edge on the bottom. And so that's leg number 1. And leg number 2 is right behind it. And we're gonna bring this part down like this. Kind of give it a little leg right there. That's just the top part to the kneecap, okay? To the kneecap. And then I'm gonna give him a little bit of a little leg sticking forward so he can balance himself. And there's 2 sides to these little sticks, okay? 2 sides to the sticks. It goes like that. And then 2 sides to this one, 2 sticks like that. You see that? Okay. Then I'm going to take this and we're going to put in 3 fingers. 1 pointed carrot, 2 pointed carrot, 3 pointed carrot. And he has a little tiny bit of a claw on the back side of him too, so it's almost like 4. So 1, 2, 3, and a little tiny one off the back like that. So that's just kind of how that goes. Now on the back of him, I also would like to put in just a tiny tail. So I put a little pointy tail like that, and that looks pretty good. Anything missing? All right, well, sometimes I like to do this too. I'll put in a couple of feathers so that it's not just the same, like that. There he is. That's looking pretty good. Now, that's a simple way of doing a chicken. Now, let's do the egg next to it, all right? I'm going to use that same little tool down here because the egg should be almost the same size as the chicken. The egg, this chicken has just been out. And, oh, first off, before we get on, I want to connect his head up a little bit right here. Okay, so I'm going to connect up his neck a little bit so it doesn't look like just a ball sitting on top of there. So it's just a little bit fluffy. And then, you know what else I want to do? I'm going to take this wing and add a little bit to it so it looks a little more fat. So I'm going to make another little wing up on the top. That looks better. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. Okay, now down over here, I'm going to put down a little bit, oops, it's falling down. Okay, now down over here, I'm going to take my little lid a little farther down and I'm going to make a circle around it, like that. And here's another beginning of our egg again. And this time we're going to exercise, we're going to do the egg going the other direction. So off the top, come down like a little hairdo. And then we're going to come up like this and make it, don't make it too pointy, it's not a bullet, it's an egg. And we're going to make it a little bit rounded right there, like that. And we're making an egg here. And at this point you can take an eraser and erase this part out, okay? I don't know where my eraser went, so I'm going to actually just use some paint and paint it out. I'm going to take my little brush and I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to wash it out. Make sure you have a can of water here, you guys. What I don't want to see you guys doing, of course I won't see it, but you know what's going to happen. A lot of times we'll put our paint on our brush and then we're painting around and we set our brush down and we don't put it in the water and then the paint dries. Acrylic paint dries in about 5 minutes and it can get stuck in your brush. So we don't want that. So make sure you either keep your brush in at about an inch of water in the bottom of a can or you're painting with it, okay? Or you rinse it out all, you know, clean it up and put it away. But don't leave them sitting on the table, everybody. No, no. I don't want you wrecking your own brushes because, you know, we got to take care of things right now. Yeah. So I'm going to go back into my white paint. And I'm going to paint out that little line. That's my eraser. Okay. And I'm just going to paint that out. Isn't that nice? Yep, you can do that. I'm going to fix that outside line too while I'm at it. Kind of looks like a big, I don't know, an ostrich egg from my point of view. And same time, I can take my little white paint and I can paint out some of these lines here, or I can erase them, okay? That's all right. Okay, now, that looks pretty good. Now, the next thing I want to do is I want to make another little egg, and I'm going to just use this little picture of a painting I did before. And I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to put in a part of an egg. So I see how I just put a line that just hit right at the top of that egg right there. And then I'm going to come up here a little bigger, and I'm going to make another little rounded egg right there. Okay, so that looks like it's kind of behind that. It's overlapping. And then up here, I'm going to come down like this, and then I'm going to kind of cut it like it's been broken. Okay, so this one doesn't have to be too perfect because it's a broken egg. And then that's one side of it. Then I'm going to come up behind and do the back side. What? Yeah, I'm just doing the back side and I'm connecting them. Doesn't that look like a broken egg? Yeah, it does. Okay, so we'll get back to that in a minute. Then I'm going to do the other part of that egg over here behind the baby chicken. So now I'm going to go like this and I make a little cup. Hope I'm not going too fast for you guys. It's just the letter U. All right, it's the letter U. And then I'm going to come down and I'm going to come in with some little cuts like this, like that. And then I'm going to make the back side of it. So that's the front side of the egg. And here comes the back side. Up like that and down and around. Okay, so this is the one side of the egg. This is the other side of the egg. And this is the whole egg. This little picture is called Waiting for Brother. Isn't that cute? That means this one's been hatched out, and this one, he's waiting for him to come out. Yeah, that's so neat. All right. So now, okay, now we're going to, I'm just going to show you a couple of little things. And I know I don't want to do too much more today. We're just going to get the basic drawing down. I want you to work on that. And you know, if you need to practice it a couple of times, it might be a good idea on some paper. So this is my special palette. It's just a little paper plate, styrofoam plate, whatever you have. I'm sorry I didn't get enough for your bags, you guys, but we kind of ran out. And so I hope you have some at home. If not, just use an old plate of some sort and then just wash it off every day. You know, you can do that. Or one of those little deli trays. You remember the deli trays in the class, you guys? You just peel the paint off. That's a lot of fun. Okay, so now I want to, I'm going to put on, this is what I want you to do. I don't want you mixing your paints up in your cups, okay? No, because what's going to happen, it's like when you mix your Play-Doh together, you know, you got a nice blue Play-Doh with an orange Play-Doh, and you mix it all together, and what happens? It turns into, doesn't look too good. So we're going to use the plate as our mixing place. So the first thing I want to do here is I want to take a little bit of that kind of gold mustard color right there. And then I'm going to pick up some white, and we're going to put some gold and some white together. And maybe just a tiny bit of purple. Okay, I'm just kind of scooping it up. And I'm making this kind of an interesting kind of a warm gray color. All right, like that. You can make your egg slightly green if you want, because, you know, a lot of times eggs are not just white. Yeah. So I'm going to start out over here with this, and I'm going to fill in the whole egg with a nice kind of beigey color, okay? A little beigey color. Not too dark, not too light. Like that. Now, on this painting, you guys, I know this is going to be tough for some of you from my classroom, but the light's going to be coming from the left side instead of the right side. It's a little different. That's going to mess with your heads. Yeah. Okay, now I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to paint this part of the egg the same color, that beige color. All the colors that you guys have in your set, you know, you can do all these different colors with just yellow, blue, and red along with some white, you can pretty much mix all the different colors you need with those three colors. Primary colors, red, blue, and yellow, okay? If they're the primary colors of red, blue, and yellow, you can make all the different colors you need. So you really don't need all those different colors, but I kind of like them. Okay, now, same thing over here, that little beige over here on this shell. Now remember, you guys, as we're doing this, you can always stop the video and then roll it back and watch it again if you get stuck, okay? Not a problem. And so now I'm going to put a little bit of a darker color. I'm going to add some blue to it. Blue and some purple. So it's a little bit darker. Okay, maybe a little bit of brown too. Okay. Blue, purple, brown, that's a nice shadowy color. And now I'm going to come up over here and we're going to make a shadow on this side of the egg a little bit. I'm not right on the bottom, I'm just kind of making a little shadow on that side of the egg. And then I'll kind of blend it. Maybe I'll get a little bit of that lighter color and blend it in a little bit. That makes that egg look round, doesn't it? Wow, isn't that neat? And then I'll put just a little light around the bottom part right there so it looks like it's kind of got light reflecting up on the bottom part of that egg. It's super neat, super neat. And then over here, we're going to get a little bit, since this is the dark side of the egg, sort of. Okay, we're going to put a little bit of the darker color here. That's too blue, but maybe I need to put a little bit more of that gold color in. Yeah. Okay, so I've added a little bit of gold on that one. That's a little bit too crazy, but it helps separate those eggs out a little bit. Like that. Good. And then I'm going to put a little bit of lighter color right there as it comes up towards that cracky edge. Now the light is coming from over here, so it's shining down in here. And so when we do our background, we're going to put the background in around that cracky egg. That'll be when we come back in again. And while I've got this, let's see, let's come over here. And I want to get some of that brownish, brown and blue color. And I'm going to make a shadow right inside the edge of this cup. Because maybe the sun's hitting over there and casting a shadow inside the cup of the egg, right like that. And I go about halfway, and then I get some of that nice bright beige color and add that to it as we go across the egg like that. Okay, that's good. Put a little bit of that over here. This is too dark. Sometimes I do that. I'll jump around a little bit. I hope I don't do it too much for you guys. Okay, now, the next thing I want to do is I want to think about what's going to happen on the shadow underneath the egg. And I think I'd like to put in some of our dark purple again. And this time I'm going to put in one little brush stroke of that teal. If you've been around me long enough, you know that I like purple and teal for my shadows. And so now the light's coming again from over here. And so, well, let's first off, let's put this underneath the egg right here like this. Okay, so here's our shadow color. I'm going to shape my egg out a little bit. I'm off to the side, so it's a little bit hard to control. You can be right in front of your thing, so it's not a big deal. So here's our little shadowy color. I'm going to put a little bit more purple in there. And the egg, it kind of comes up around the egg like that, and we make a nice little shadow. Not a big shadow, it's not going all the way across the canvas. But we're making it up here to about right up to the middle of the egg. And then I'm going to come back over the bird's feet. And we're going to make a little shadow that kind of connects their little legs a little bit. Like that. Isn't that fun? Okay. There's his little funny legs. And then up here, take our purple and our teal. And we're going to come in. Now remember, when this dries, it dries a little bit darker. So that's kind of interesting. I'm going to make a little round shadow that kind of comes in right about there to the from that egg, casting a shadow like that. There, that's kind of fun. Okay, whoops, I gave it a sharp edge there. Okay, there. Now, I don't want it to have a super sharp edge, so sometimes I want to take a little Q-tip, if you have like an earbud, you know, and you just make it a little bit fuzzy, a little bit. Sometimes that makes it look more like a shadow. I got to put a little water on it. It's starting to get dry. What I'm working on right now, you guys, is this is actually a wood panel, and we're trying those out a little bit. It's masonite that my husband cut, and I put some gesso on it. And I just wanted to see if it would be a different kind of surface. And wow, it is. It dries super fast. So you guys are lucky. You've got the canvases. Canvases are good too. That's looking pretty good, I think. Okay, now what's missing over here? Well, we need another shadow over here, don't we? Right here. So here's a shadow here. And I'll put a little bit of a roundish shadow. Oops, I got a little bit up into the egg there. And then I also want to make a dark side on this side of the egg. I forgot. So I'm making it not too dark, but somewhere in the middle, like that. And then I want a nice super light. I'm going to get some white on my brush, put a few little white marks on the inside where the light would hit. So I got shadow on this side and light right there, okay? Now on this egg, I can come back in and I'm going to put a little bit of a light, my light white on top of that, so it looks kind of like it's got a bit of a, like a lighter spot. I'll make a little bit more lighter a little bit later. Okay, so I think that's all we're going to do for this first lesson. And we're going to come right back next time we meet, and we're going to finish, we're going to do our chicken, and we're going to do our background, because the background helps set all of these things into place. You can make your background in different colors, okay? If you want, like this little picture that I have of Waiting for Brother that I did was just all gold. And that's nice. I like that. We're going to think about that for a minute. But we could also put a nice light blue sky down to here or down to here. And we could put some grass in here for the little guy to sit on. So you can decorate it in any way that you like. But first off, we're going to, in our next time we meet, we're going to be doing the baby chick. We're going to paint that baby chick, and we're going to make it really nice and fluffy. It's going to be great. So I hope you'll join me again, and I'll see you soon. Get working on your painting, everybody, and I want to see how you worked it all out. I hope to see some pictures of it pretty quick. Okay? Love you guys. We'll talk to you again really soon, probably tomorrow. Okay? Bye-bye for now.